Welcome to the most overrated, underappreciated, most viewed, underviewed podcast of all time. Welcome to. I said, welcome to. Come on, you're supposed to say it along with me. I got to do it by myself now. I said, welcome to the Prince of Fresh Air. This is your host, the most charismatic man in entertainment. And I want to say thank you to all my supporters and listeners out there all around the world. You know, we got a long journey, and I thank you, because without your continuous support, we wouldn't be one of the best podcasts out there. But anyway, a little disclaimer for this episode. We're going to be talking about Kanye West and Kim Kardashian. That's right. You know what we're talking about. The ongoing saga. So, it's going to get a little controversial at times. It's going to get a little debatable at times. But you know what? This is the space where we respect everybody's opinion. And this was a great episode because it shines a light on a much bigger issue than Kanye and Kim. This is the podcast where we do it big and we do it better. So this is a bonus episode for all my supporters and fans and listeners around the world as a thank you. And I hope you guys enjoy. And I'm not going to keep you waiting.
So I wasn't going to talk about this. All right. This has been going on for a while now. And, you've seen it happen once. You've seen it happen 1,000 times. You know what I'm saying? But given the circumstances and what I've just seen, I felt compelled to want to talk about it. So basically, we have Kanye West condemned for a music video depicting Pete Davidson being buried alive. According to Forbes, it says Kanye West is being condemned by critics and even segments of his fan base, not me, after releasing a music video for his new single, Eazy. I never even heard the song, but I just, seen the video like 20 minutes ago, which depicts West beheading a figure who closely resembles Saturday Night Live comedian Pete Davidson. First of all, that guy's not a comedian because he's not funny. The black and white video, mostly composed of stop motion animation, has a cartoonishly aesthetic somewhat similar to a Tim Burton animation and shows West inflicting exaggerated acts of violence. I'm assuming upon Pete Davidson, which, I guess so, yeah. At one point, West plants a handful of rose seeds inside the figure's head, which later bloom into a full bouquet. Likely a reference to the truckload of roses that West sent Kim Kardashian for Valentine's Day. Eazy also contains the lyrics, "God save me from the crash, just so I can beat Pete Davidson's ass." Now, before I get your opinion on it, I just want to read some of the tweets that pretty much really set me over the edge, because if it was just based on the music video, I wasn't going to say anything. But once I seen these tweets, I had to say something. So it says, Kim Kardashian has been declared legally single, and in response, Kanye uploads a stop motion music video of him kidnapping and decapitating Pete Davidson. This is abuse. The next person says, the whole sick thing about the Kanye, Kim, and Pete Davidson thing is that the world is watching a woman publicly be abused and finds it funny or normal. Okay. Next one. Quit saying, here's this one. Quit saying Kanye's behavior is harmless, that he wouldn't actually hurt Pete. He is continuously harassing and threatening a guy with bipolar disorder, depression, and anxiety with a history of suicidal thoughts. That is harmful. Only Kanye's mental health as the abuser is ever discussed. Fuck Pete Davidson, dog. Okay, fuck that shit. I don't give a damn if his ass got bipolar disorder, depression, anxiety. I don't give a fuck. None of that shit. Okay, Kanye West is a married man, or is a newly divorced man. He's going to feel some type of way about his marriage being torn apart in front of his fucking face. All right.
Yep.
So he's going to express himself. Period. And he's entitled to feel however he's going to feel about the situation and anybody involved in that shit. All right. Pete Davidson. Okay, let's say if I'm in Pete Davidson's shoes. Kanye West and Kim Kardashian had a public relationship. As far as I'm concerned, their marriage, for the most part, is a public bathroom. Okay, everybody sees it. Everybody knows what's going on. All of that shit. Anytime they have a problem, everybody, the whole world knows about that shit. if they're having problems and I'm the guy that comes up in there and then I start to, get with Kim Kardashian, what the fuck do I think is going to happen as a result of that shit? You see what I'm saying? Now people are going to come for me as the guy that split up the marriage between Kanye and Kim Kardashian. If this motherfucker just wanted to get with somebody in peace and quiet, then get a regular girl. Don't sit there and get Kim Kardashian, who is like probably top 5 most famous people walking around on earth right now, and think that the guy who was just married to her, who has 3 kids by her, is just gonna watch you take his girl and then like not say anything. Now there are multiple ways to look at this situation. That is just my immediate reaction to Pete Davidson. I have a bone to pick with how Kanye is handling it, but my main issue is Pete Davidson playing the victim. And then all of these people like protecting him and defending him like this motherfucker doesn't have his part to play in this situation. You see what I'm saying? Like, yo, so what's your thoughts on that, bro?
First of all, let me first say this. Pete Davidson is a rebound. Let's just put it like that. He definitely is, because I don't see with Kim's record and how quickly things changed. I just see it as a rebound. Second of all, I don't blame Kanye. You know why? Because people make fun of this all the time. A lot of times, especially let me break up this point. You remember when the whole Jada Smith and Will Smith, August Alsina thing came up? A lot of people, some people criticize Jada just a little bit, but a lot of those memes wasn't slandering her. It was calling Will Smith a simp, making fun of Will Smith. Why? Because, society deems men, we're supposed to be strong. We're supposed to hold that
black
feeling.
men. Black men. No,
exactly.
Black men. We don't get a pass for having mental health struggles. Okay. Yep. When Kanye West was saying he was having mental problems and stuff like that, nobody really got behind him except for, I guess, maybe his fan base and shit like that. And I wouldn't even consider myself to be part of his fan base. Yeah, I like his music, but I look at this situation objectively. If he was really fucking up, I would just say, you know what, Kanye West is fucking up. But this is a situation where a black man is just expressing his anger, which is a natural part of going through the process known as divorce. He's expressing himself. Whether or not he chooses to do something, that's on him. But he's just expressing himself. But people want to get mad at him because it's a black man attacking a white guy. Facts.
Right.
Facts.
Oh, I wholeheartedly agree. And this is something that happens a lot of times in marriage or divorce, that happens on a daily basis, but a lot of people don't see why, because it's not in the public eye. The only difference is these are famous people. Now, I would say this, people are quick to judge, especially Kanye, because of the way he's approaching things. Don't get me wrong, could he handle things just a tad better? Absolutely. But he's been married to this woman for 10 years, probably a little more than that, has 4 kids with her, and 4 kids with her. So, of course, it's not going to be the easiest thing in the world to see your wife, or now ex-wife,
running around with a Walking Dead extra, a Walking Dead zombie. Literally, I'd be mad too. Especially because usually it's like in a divorce, there's always one person generally that's like, I don't really want this to be happening. Clearly, that's Kanye.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And this is the difference. Like, like I said, this happens a lot with marriage. When people get divorced, it always gets ugly. People using the kids, people sending death threats. You watch a lot of these FBI shows and stuff like that. People getting having their wife killed and their husband slaughtered. The only difference with Kanye is he's using his art, which he's really good at, to express his emotion. And I think people dragging him for doing that, I think they're too quick to judge, and they're probably Kim Kardashian fans. Would make sense because you know how
or
famous
just don't like
celebrity
Kanye. You also got to understand that too. There's a lot of people that don't like Kanye. For the millions of people that do, there's hundreds of thousands of people that still don't like him for the Taylor Swift shit. And I feel like 9 times out of 10, people are going off of their disdain for him and not looking at this shit objectively. Because I'm looking at it objectively. His music and me listening to his music sometimes has nothing to do with how I'm looking at the situation. I'm just putting myself in his shoes. Somebody else said, Pete literally has spoken about having bipolar disorder and being suicidal. Does Kanye not have a team that needs to approve this shit? They're literally exploiting one mentally ill man to upset another, particularly Pete, all for some clout. Shit has nothing to do with clout.
Nothing to do with it.
How does Kanye West need clout? Kanye West is top 3 best rappers right now. Why would somebody like him need clout? Regardless of what Kanye West does, clearly throughout his whole entire career, he will always be here. He's reached that echelon of artist where even if he has like a big ass fuck up, I'm not talking R. Kelly level, but any, you know what I'm saying, type of fuck up, and he'll still be here. People didn't like him for people hated on him for sitting down with Trump years ago. You think he got canceled? No, he's still here. Clearly, he's still here.
Right. And this is what I mean. Like, you see this a lot of times with celebrities, and that's not even marriage, right? You see a lot of these rapper men, cheating on their girlfriends, right? And the first thing you see is these women keying up their cars, throwing stuff out the window, and people, oh yes, girl, do your thing. But now when a man want to use his art to express his feelings, oh, he's abusing her. No.
Motherfucking abuse. You don't gotta watch that shit.
Exactly.
He ain't forcing her to watch it. It's not like he filled her car with like 100 copies, a DVD, Blu-ray copies of his fucking music video. That she ain't got nothing to do with that shit. That's just what he's doing on his own time. If she don't like it, if she really want nothing to do with him, she'd be like, oh, I never even seen it. I don't know. Everybody's going on about this whole shit on their behalf. And it's like, yo, if they're really trying to be happy and move on with themselves and all of that, then just detach yourself from the situation completely. It'll blow over, especially if you're not paying attention to it, because the opposite of love is not hate, it's indifference. So the way that motherfucking Pete Davidson and Kim Kardashian really get through this shit is don't pay any attention to it, and it's going to blow over. Because clearly Kanye West is messing with other chicks. He don't get over it. It's just, his divorce happened like last week or 2 weeks ago. Whenever that shit just happened. That's like a breakup. Anybody who's gone through a breakup, it's like, you're going to be dealing with the after effects of that relationship for a while. The longer that it is, the longer you're going to go through that shit.
Right.
So Pete Davidson, again, before I start talking about Kanye and what I don't like about what he's doing, motherfucking Pete Davidson, if your ass really got all these mental, illnesses and ailments and all this other types of fucking shit, your monkey ass should not be fucking dating a public figure such as Kim Kardashian, because there's a lot of shit that's coming with that. There's a lot of shit that's going to come with that. And you're constantly going to be under the magnifying glass known as the public eye in social media. If I was Pete Davidson and I knew that I have this fragile state of, first of all, I wouldn't be no motherfucking so-called, comedian, first of all. Then second of all, it's like I wouldn't be dating a chick that's going to put me in the line of fire. Facts.
Right. And again, this is my point. Like, when you start crossing lines like that, and, I don't think Pete Davidson is a inherently bad person, but when you start putting yourself in the trajectory of a married couple, even if they split up and they still legally married, once you start dating a married person, there's going to be feelings involved, and a lot of people think it's fun and games. You see it in the news all the time, dudes getting killed or girls getting killed because they dating somebody's married partner. So the only difference is, like I said, Kanye is not using violence. He hasn't sent out a hit squad on him. You know what I'm saying? He's just using his art, which he does best, to express his feelings, and I see nothing wrong with that. And I think people making fun of him are the same people who probably slashed their boyfriend's tire if they found out he was cheating on them. So I just see him as a guy who's using an outlet to express his disdain, his hatred, his disgust, and his true feelings about the situation. And I see nothing wrong with that. And I think people, calling him a bully, anything. Well, don't you think it's a bully move to be out there public kissing your new boyfriend while you're still married? Come on.
Like, how is he supposed to feel? Facts, bro. Facts.
That's what happens when you either hate the person or you love. How Kim Kardashian fans are. They act like she can't do no wrong. But like I said, this is a game you don't want to play with, especially when you're talking about a marriage that's lasted this long. You got kids involved, money involved, a future involved. This is a game you don't want to play. And I would never advocate against domestic violence or anything like that. But when you start playing with people's emotions, this the games that this is what happens. So if Pete Davidson don't like it, then you shouldn't be dating a married woman. Now that she's divorced, if they would have started dating now, I probably wouldn't look two ways about it. But they started dating before they even got divorced. So of course there's gonna be some feelings involved. And I think people are too quick to judge, but these are the same people that would do the same thing that he would do if they was in the same situation.
Right. Now, we made a quick take video, a while ago about Dr. Dre and his ex-wife going through the process of divorce. And in the video, I was pretty much saying that, I don't believe in the fallacy, known as marriage, because a lot of times people think that, till death do us part, and, in sickness and in health and this and that, and then it's supposed to last forever and things like that. But then you see these things happen. And in fact, towards the end of the video, I said that. I was like, yo, you know, you thought that things, you know, everything was just forever and all other types of stuff. Then one thing goes wrong, and then your girl or your ex-wife or whatever, she's running around with some white guy, you know what I'm saying? Just like a week later, as if you guys weren't together at all. So, and to expound on that even more, 50 Cent said that, you know, you look at a lot of these successful men, you know what I'm saying, like billionaires and stuff like that, Jeff Bezos and, you know, such and such. He said that years ago that the biggest, you know, their biggest losses came from when they invested in love, you know, or marriage, when they invested in somebody else. You can't do that. You can't do that. My criticism with Kanye is that Kanye is a grown ass man. Kanye is pushing, isn't he in his like 40s now? Like,
yeah, he's like early 40s now. Yeah.
Yeah. You should know better. Now, granted, a lot of times I feel like when your girl leaves you and you didn't want her to go, it's going to make you be irrational. And I just feel like, well, maybe Kanye West has not been through this shit before in life, because I feel like once you go through it the first time, then it'll prepare you for the next time should that ever happen again. I feel like the only reason why he's reacting like that is because he's never dealt with some shit like that before. Because, I mean, he's always been Kanye West. Since the 90s, he's always been that guy. So it's like anytime he went, you know, his separate ways with a woman, it's probably been on his terms. But being that Kim Kardashian is more famous and more, you know, successful than him, when she left, it was on her terms, and he can't deal with that. Because if I'm in Kanye West's shoes, I'm not reacting like that. I mean, granted, I've been through that before. So it's just like, hey, she wants to go. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to hear me talk about that shit. None of that. It's like, I've been reading Will Smith's biography lately, or his book, Will. And when he went through his first divorce, he called Quincy Jones and asked Quincy for his advice, you know, on his divorce, because he was feeling like shit, like any man would probably feel, especially if you really loved her. Especially that goes double for men who have kids with that particular woman. And he was just like, yo, and now mind you, Quincy Jones is a guy who's had multiple wives. So that pretty much gives context to what he ended up saying to him, which was that just give her half and go about your life and go about your day. Because you're going to make double that anyway. That's what he told him. He was like, yo, just give her half, give her what you need to give her. And then they keep going, because you're going to get more girls, you're going to get more money. So it's almost going to be as if it didn't happen at all. And that's a fact. So I feel like this should be a lesson to a lot of young men. Do not invest that much into a woman who's ultimately not going to be loyal to you at the end of the day. That's a fact. Because I've always said this, and I've read this in books or in a particular book where a woman is not going to lament over a failed relationship that long. Okay. A woman is only going to be like, dang, you know, it didn't work out for maybe about a week, maybe 2 weeks. After that 2-week margin, she's already looking for somebody else. Like you said, she was already dating Pete Davidson, running around with him, going here, going there, before they were even legally divorced. So technically they were still married when she was running around with him. That's mad disrespectful. That's disrespectful.
Right. And while he was pleading his love for her still. Like, it wasn't like they split amicably. They was all happy, and this dude was still trying to win her back. Now, whether you want to call him a sip or not, that's your prerogative. But while you still trying to profess your love to someone you married to, and they running around publicly, you know, on days, traveling, having a good old time with your kids, you're going to be upset about it.
Yep.
But
so this is why I always say that I will not get married, because to me, it's a waste of time. It's literally a waste of time, money, energy. You have a relationship with somebody, somebody can't tell you that's not already married. Marriage is literally just a legally binding contract between two people. There's no guarantee that they're going to stay, especially when you're dealing with women. Because what made me kind of wonder why things were going the way that it did, and it's something that I said during the Dr. Dre quick take, was that what are they going through now, or what happened that didn't happen already in 10 years? Because 10 years is a long ass time to be with somebody. And then mind you, before they were actually married, they were dating for some time before that. So that's 10 years and change. So let's say like 11 years they were together. What's happening now that they couldn't just seem to get through? Because you guys got 3 kids. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that like, oh, if he was really abusing and mistreating her, she should have stayed anyway. But clearly that wasn't the case as far as we know. You know what I'm saying?
Right. But you know what, man? This is just another case of the black men become enemy number one. It happened with all her other previous boyfriends and ex-husbands. Look at Lamar Odom. When he was going through a rough patch, people was making fun of him, calling him a crackhead and a drug addict while she was living her best life.
Double
And
standard.
It truly is. Like, let's be real, and we see this all the time when in media, with these celebrity women. If their heart get broken, like I said, you see them slashing tires, keying up cars, making all these threats online and calling them out their name online, and people like, yes, girl, you know what I'm saying? They think it's funny.
Right.
But like I said, when we talk about marriage, it's yes, I do agree. Marriage is a business contract. I don't care what nobody say. This is saying, when you get divorced and you in that courtroom, you're not talking about love. You're not talking about how much you respect the person. You're talking about money, right?
Preach.
But regardless, they both are rich. I'm sure Kanye don't have to work another day in his life. So is Kim. But at the same time, when you're talking about people's feelings, like I said, we've seen this time and time again in a lot of these documentaries, people getting killed over, sleeping with somebody's wife or husband. This is not something to joke about. I'm not saying I agree with it. I'm not condoning it. But like I said, a lot of people, actually, I will say this. There is a thing called, in law, I actually just found this out recently. There is a thing in law called, what is it, crime of passion or something, where you get when you're in love with somebody and they drive you mad to the point where you have to commit murder or whatever, because this happened a couple times in recent memory, where people actually getting off scot-free or with like a year in prison because it's an act of passion when they commit murder or whatever the case is to their ex-husband or their wife or the person they cheating on them with. What I'm saying? I think making fun of somebody's emotions like this, it's a dangerous game. I hope Kanye doesn't cross the boundaries of this. Just stick with the art. But like I said, people making fun about this, but I'm pretty sure most people making fun about him know somebody and their family or friends that beat up their wife, who beat up their wife's boyfriend, or the wife, threatened to shoot, the husband's girlfriend. It happens all the time. But the only difference is we're seeing a real-time divorce and marriage crumble. Same thing with Dr. Dre and them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's not funny. You know what I'm saying? But like you said, it's a double standard. When it's black men, it's all fun and games and laughing giggles. He just got to
suck it up. He just got to suck it up and then just live with the fact that, like, a divorce happened, and he didn't want it. And then some other guy's fucking his chick. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, like, yo, come on, man. He's gonna feel some type of way for a certain amount of time. Would I advise him to throw his life and his career away over fucking Pete Davidson? No. And I would like to believe that a man in his early mid-40s is wise enough not to do something stupid. But him just doing whatever he wants to do in his motherfucking music video, let him do whatever the fuck he wants. If you don't like it, don't watch his shit. Period. If you don't like Kanye West, what are you doing watching his videos anyway?
Right. And now they piling on with this, the girl that Kanye West was seeing for like a couple weeks, Julia Fox. Now she coming out talking about, he was very hectic. He was a drama queen, and
you dated Kanye West. Like you knew he was a Scorpio when you picked him up.
Exactly. Like, you know what he was up to. The same reason.
Like, you want to act like this is something new. Like, you knew this was Kanye West. Like, you seen him in the news. You seen him everywhere. So it's like, I'm not gonna act like you didn't know the type of person that he was prior to that. But this is my thing. This is one of the reasons why I'm not like an advocate for like interracial marriages and shit like that. Because in these situations, when you're a black man dealing with a white woman, in these situations, you are always going to be painted as a bad guy. And all Kim Kardashian has to do is allude to some sort of, physical, emotional, mental abuse on his part, and it's a wrap. It's a wrap. And this guy is really jumping from one to the other to the other. And you're always going to get that same thing over and over and over again. We as black men, you need to do better. Because I feel like, I'm not saying that if he was with a black woman, it would have lasted longer, but hey, I don't think you would be going through this.
Right. Now, let me ask you, on that note of interracial dating, do you think if Kim Kardashian was with another black man, Kanye West would be getting dragged the way he is?
Nope.
I don't think
Nope.
so either.
Nope. 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 Because the Kardashians are already known for just, dating only black men. That's a fact. That's a fact. I feel
Which is
like
what, yeah.
she's the one who kind of like broke that pattern and then just went and then got like the random freaking, Pete Davidson. And then what's funny is that they had like a little scene on weak ass Saturday Night Live where they were like kissing or some shit. Like, and this was like 2016, 17. So they was already acting up and wilding out back then.
Right. But like I said, man, because I'm reading a lot of these reports about his music video and how controversial it is. But like I said, most married people, when they get divorced, they have thoughts like this. The only difference is some people actually commit the crime. Some people only just tell their true feelings. And I see no problem with him expressing his true feelings about the situation because,
I don't like
like
the
I said,
motherfucker either.
right. I'm not saying
Davidson either.
right. And I'm not saying the
Fuck
way
him.
Kanye West is going about it is the right way, but it's not illegal. He's not committing a crime.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Pete Davidson is a grown man too. So if he can't handle the pressure, don't stay or sleep with somebody's married
Get out
wife.
the kitchen. Exactly. Get out. You can't stand to eat. Get out the kitchen. If you're I have these mental illnesses and all other types of shit, get out the kitchen. Don't put yourself in the line of fire. Get you a nice regular girl. Nobody will ever say anything about you, but you got literally like the number one, number two, number three most famous woman in the world. There's a lot of shit that comes with that. Facts. And then she's older than him. I don't even know how old fucking Pete Davidson is, but I know Kim Kardashian is way older than he is. Kim Kardashian is the same chick that was in the sex tape with Ray J. So really, this is Kanye West's fault anyway, because what kind of chick are you really going to get if she was doing sex tapes and shit with Ray J back in the day? Like you cannot reform a chick like that. So everything that's happening right now really is no surprise to me, to be honest with you, because I don't do the old couple goals thing or relationship goals. I don't do that. But hey, you know what you're gonna get by dealing a chick like that. That's like dating a girl who got an OnlyFans. What do you think is gonna come with a chick like that? When push comes to shove, women like them are always going to be self-interested. Period. Period. If they're going to have to, it doesn't matter if you're married to them for 10, 15, 20 years. If they have to choose between you and them, they're always going to choose themselves. Marriage, love, kids is never going to come into the equation to that. Did she think about how that was going to affect the kids and shit? I don't know. I didn't read about that dynamic and shit like that, but I bet you them kids are like, well, who is he? This goofy looking motherfucker. This nigga, Pete Davidson looked like a real life Ren and Stimpy character, dog. Like, yo, that nigga looked straight from Ren and Stimpy. He looked like Eustace from fucking Courage the Cowardly Dog. Fuck out of here, man. literally. 20, 30 years from now, that nigga will look like straight Eustace from Courage the Cowardly Dog. He looked like Mandark with blonde hair. Fuck that. He looked like every single cartoon character. He looked like he from Ed, Edd n Eddy. Like, what are we talking about right now? Anyway, what I'm saying is that the moral of the story for men, do not get married. Like, do not invest in a woman that is only going to choose herself. She will never take your feelings, your thoughts into account at all. Period. It's not about love. It's about loyalty at the end of the day. Don't tell me you love me. You can't tell me that. But you can show me and you can tell me that you're loyal. Facts. Most women, they don't have a loyalty mindset. If we're in ancient times and we go back thousands of years, and I go and I conquer another man's country, I slaughter all the men, and then I seize all the women, I bring them back to my kingdom. How long are those women going to be lamenting over the men that they lost? For a couple of weeks, and then they're going to get adjusted to the new lifestyle in my kingdom with the new men over here. And women are still like that today. It's like if a woman has a boyfriend that's in the army, if he fucking dies at war, how long is it going to be until she finds another guy and she's going to start fucking and sucking the next guy? Let's be real. Women are not sitting around being widows and shit like that after failed relationships and deaths and all of that. No, men, we process those things differently. So you might have a guy, generally, depending on his mindset, being single for X amount of time. But usually, women, days to weeks later, they're already texting somebody else, seeing somebody else, fucking and sucking somebody else. And Kim Kardashian is no excuse. Kanye West, as a fucking 40-something-year-old, he should have known better. And that's really his fault at the end of the day. Because the thing is, and we know, when your girl steps out on you and she goes and starts fucking around with somebody else while you guys are still together legally or otherwise, you don't get mad at the guy. And I'm just saying, and I'm going to end it on that. You do not get mad at the guy. It's really on her. And there's nothing you can do about it, because we know now in this day and age, especially now, you can't control a woman. I mean, you never could have. So it's like him, how is he not wise enough to know? It's like, yo, really, in this situation, no matter how you look at it, I mean, yeah, I could say he should be allowed to express himself, but you're always going to be seen as the bad guy. Whether or not he cares is neither here nor there. But you can't control what she does, and you can't get mad at the guy because it does make you look like a sucker. I don't like Pete Davidson, but that's game. That's game. Your girl is running around with another guy. Why would you fight him? That's not his fault. She's allowing him to do whatever it is that he wants to do. So it's on her. If you have a conversation with her and she's like, oh, I'm going to do whatever I want to do anyway, despite how you feel about it, she's dead. Let her go. Man. Because at this point, real quick, why would you even want to continue having a family with a woman like that? Right. Why? Like, yo, why? Because she's doing it in your face. And even if they were to get back together, now she's going to be doing it behind his back. Because what's a Pete Davidson to a Kanye West, to a Ye? Right. You know that there's always those situations where you have like the rich wife or the mistress that she got the super successful husband, but yet she's still fucking the pool boy, the mailman, the gangbanger. Yeah, this is the same situation like that. Period. You cannot like literally. Kim Kardashian is a perfect example of you can't domesticate a girl like that. You can't. You can't, because she's always going to do what she's always done. Go back to the early 2000s. She was fucking and sucking Ray J. I could find that shit right now if I wanted to. That shit is still available. That's embarrassing. And I wiped a girl like that? Kanye, come on, bro. Come on, man. Like, get it together, bro. Get it together. I could agree with his right to express himself, but knowing what I know now, you can't do that. And he has to stop. Like, put out a couple more music videos, say what you want to say. But at some point, you got to stop that shit. You got to stop that shit, because it's only going to make, I would say it's going to make him look bad, because the Kim Kardashian, Pete Davidson market is not his market. The people that are talking shit about him are not the ones that are buying his music and going to his shows. Their opinions are inconsequential. Right. And, like you say, Kanye, what are you doing, man? And I say this because there's no slight against Kim Kardashian. I don't follow it, don't really care that much. I'm not in her business, but we see it all the time. She hopping from guy to guy, husband to husband. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why I'm actually surprised the marriage lasted as long as it did, to be honest with you. But why, just why, Kanye? Why? Like, don't get me wrong. I know you probably love the girl, but come on, man. You can't. I want to say this in a disrespectful way. You can't turn a hoe into a housewife. You know what I'm saying? You can't. She's not. You cannot domesticate certain girls. You can't domesticate them. And
we know how that family go. The Jenner and the Kardashian family. We know how they roll. They don't stick around. As soon as things get sour, they out. They got a new boyfriend. They're on a private jet somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? We know how they roll. And like, you see this all the time. It's like, especially black men, they keep getting sucked into this family. And I'm not saying they family are bad or anything. That's, your judgment, whatever.
Kris Jenner, no. Kendall Jenner is the best looking girl out of all of them. She's the best looking girl out of all of them. The rest of them, they don't even look good to me. But the moral of the story, again, marriage is a fallacy. And Kanye West has maybe a couple of more times to say whatever he wants to say, but eventually it has to blow over and he has to let it go. Just be a father to your kids. And then that's that. Because this is just me speaking. I'm just speaking on myself. Once you cross me, I will never look at you the same way. It's like you can forgive, but you can't forget. And this is why I'm like, you want her to run right back to you and shit, like he was saying during that Drake concert and stuff like that. But what's really coming back to you at that point? Because if Kanye West is a guy that really has his own mental issues, whatever, all she's going to do is exacerbate them shits, period. All she's going to do is make them shits worse. Let her be Pete Davidson's problem. Because let me tell you, that Pete Davidson shit that she got going on with him right now, it's not going to last long. I guarantee.
Oh, bro, it's not. Mark my words. It's a rebound.
Mark my words. This shit is only for the moment. Maybe a little while, some shit like that. Next thing I know, I'm going to go on Instagram. I'm going to be on Google, whatever. And I'm going to see, Kim Kardashian, Pete Davidson split. TMZ.
She with a black man.
Yep. Hashtag TMZ live, because a girl like that is always just going to jump from the next one to the next one to the next one. That's her whole entire. She used to date Nick Cannon, bro. Like, come on, man. Really? Come on now, mad rappers been up in that. So what are you really getting? Get you it? Like I would just say, if I was Kanye, I would just go back to my roots, because when Kanye West first came out, he was dating black girls up until Amber Rose. You know what I'm saying? And then after that, it was Kim Kardashian, and then look what happened. Just go back, get you a nice black girl and shit like that. Get multiple black girls. Kanye West can do whatever he wants, but don't repeat a failing formula. And that's my time on that.
Yeah, I the only thing I'm gonna say is this. I don't know, one of the things people talk about is after his mother died, this man mentally changed. I don't know if he's crazy and insane. I don't think there's many problems with him. I don't think he's crazy. I think people just over dramatizing the stuff that he's going through. Because like I said, losing a parent, especially you're really close to, it's not no easy feat. And maybe this is just, he's looking at it like, my mom left me. No ill will towards him. It's just, natural. But his mom left him. Now his wife left him.
It's abandonment.
This man just, abandonment issue.
Not because that has nothing to do with his mother, because his mother just died of some sort of cosmetic, as a result of a cosmetic surgery from what I remember. But it's a loss. When you have a breakup, whether it's a friendship, a relationship, even like you getting fired from your job, it's a separation. It's a breakup. You know what I'm saying? You relied on this person, this situation to get something. It was transactional. There was something that he was getting out of being with her. And once that is taken away from you, there is a certain after effect to that. And that's what we are witnessing right now. So Kanye West is human, just like Pete Davidson is human. All right. So if the white people and shit are going to go for their guy, I'm going to go for my guy, and I'm going to defend Kanye West. I'm going to defend the black man. I'm always going to defend a black man, period. Right. And that is my time on that. So any last words, dog?
My final words is be careful who you date, and be careful of sleeping with married people. And if, like you said, if you can't take the heat, don't stay in the kitchen.
Don't get married, fellas. And with that said, I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.